Welcome to the Delaware County Commissioners meeting of Monday, February 16th, 2026. It's now 9 o'clock. Please stand for pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Carroll, roll call, please.
Here. Here.
Commissioner Reagan.
Present. Thank you. Okay, now we have the privilege of opening the material bids. They're on their way up. Oh, they're on their way up. Okay. Any appointments that are leaning? I have not heard back from the Fair Board.
Couple quick reminders. The Board of Health, we're still looking for a Democrat to show interest there that meets the qualifications. Also, Civic Center Authority. We're looking for a Democrat there that has some legal background. That's the request. We have a BZA opening, Board of Zoning Appeals opening. That person could be a Democrat, a Republican, or an independent. They must own property or reside in the unincorporated territory of the county. We have had one person submit interest, Mr. Stephen Hines, Stevenhinds. He spoke with Kylene and Alan Wisely at the last Planning Commission meeting to see if he would qualify for that. Mr. Hines attends all of the Planning Commission meetings. He attends all of the BZA meetings, and he asks good questions. So he is the only candidate that we have submitted right now. I believe he votes as a Democrat, but he could go on the board as a Democrat or an independent. That's the only person I know of that has submitted interest so far. And then
pleasure?
We have, I don't believe he serves on any other boards. I believe he qualifies according to Kylene. So I would like to get feedback from Kylene, but yeah, please, Kylene.
Good morning, Colleen Swackenham, Planning Commission. So yes, he would be able to serve as an independent, but he would like to serve as a Republican. So he will need to get a letter from the head of the Republican Party.
Do you know if he's requesting that?
I believe he is working on that.
Okay.
But either would be okay for him to serve as an independent or serve as a Republican with a designation letter.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Thanks.
based on his wishes, I think we should wait.
Yes.
And then we will have either on our agenda for the March 2nd or the March 16th, we have to take action by March 31st. We have an appointment to the Yorktown Public Library Board of Trustees. Kimberly Pike is currently serving on that board, and there's a recommendation from Liz Rozelle to reappoint Kimberly. That's not on our agenda today, but we'll have to have it on for either the 2nd or the 16th prior to the 31st.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, under tape business, I'd like to, I don't know about John's not here about the tower, is he? Okay. I would like to remove the Heartland Scholar.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brand.
Yes.
Commissioner Henry.
Yes.
Commissioner Reagan.
Yes. Mr. Eckerty's here, and he'd like to give us an update on the scholar housing situation. Okay, thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners, and thank you for the opportunity to be here. Would it be useful for me to give you a brief overview
Please.
before we start? Okay. Scholar House is a program that has been around for about 25 years. Started in Louisville, Kentucky. Myself and a few other people brought this program to the state of Indiana 5 years ago, to Muncie, Indiana, specifically 2 years ago. We do a very specific thing. We work exclusively with significantly impoverished single mothers, most of which come to us from domestic violence situations, homelessness, and in some instances have been trafficked. They have a common goal. They would like to use education as a vehicle to move them out of poverty and into self-sufficiency. We are successful in moving about 88.5% through with either associate's degrees or college 4-year degrees or trade school advanced certificates, apprenticeships, journeyman's credentials, and so forth. Whatever they choose, we don't particularly care. We currently operate in Muncie off of the Ball State campus. We have some housing available to us, made available to us through Ball State. By way of an update, for the Muncie campus, we have currently 45 in program. We have 7 in housing. We would probably have closer to 30 to 35 in housing right now if we had it available. Ball State's been a really good partner for us. They set aside some housing over at the Scheidler apartments out by the football stadium, and we're proceeding to remodel, and then got caught up in some of the state budget cuts, so they had to cut back a little bit. So the only reason that we have 7 people in housing today and not 35, because that's all the housing we have available. Okay, so and in terms of Delaware County and Muncie proper, currently we have a waiting list of people trying to come into the program of about 130. Okay, so that's, in a nutshell, that's where we are today.
Thanks for the update.
Sure.
I know housing's so hard to get a hold of, and I was thinking, what more economics could we use than our ed money to make a donation to move this program along? But it's just something I believe in, but I don't have the support. I don't have the support.
I haven't heard a request, and from what edit
I believe
plan
it's
would you take it from?
the economic one. Is that number 11?
11's information technology. If there's a specific requested dollar amount, I believe it would fit best in project number 9, which is health and wellness.
Health and wellness.
Yep.
Yes.
What's the balance in that, you know?
We put total for the 3-year plan, Commissioner Henry, of $640,000 in that. There's $280,000 earmarked for this year. I don't know the balance though.
What's the request, Commissioner, again, do you know?
Well, I would like to start off with 25,000 for 3 years, but whatever you guys would suggest.
Is there a specific request?
No, sir.
So you're recommending 25,000 a year for 3 years in a row, so 75,000 total? Got it.
I would make a motion to give them 25,000 this year and see where we're at the end of the year.
I'll second that.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brand,
Yes.
Commissioner Henry,
Yes.
Commissioner Reagan.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Good day, folks.
Approval of minutes, February 2nd.
I sent a few corrections, which I believe have been incorporated. I'd make a motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Henry,
Yes.
Commissioner Brand,
Yes.
Commissioner Reagan.
Yes, thank you. And I understand Ms. Sparks could not make it today, so the Lifeline Pilots.
Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here today with you to share about a very meaningful nonprofit organization in which I represent, Lifeline Pilots. We are a program who provides totally free flights to anybody who needs to get to medical care that is scheduled far away from home. We do over 1,000 flights a year. This is made possible via around 350 volunteer pilots with privately owned aircrafts. We will zip right up here locally to Muncie Aviation and help get one of your community members to the Mayo Clinic, to Cleveland Clinic, maybe to a children's hospital where they need to receive treatment. We say anywhere from 100 to 1,000 miles away. Again, these are scheduled appointments. So if someone needs to urgently get to a treatment, this is not a lifeline service associated with helicopters. It's funded totally by the pilots. It's volunteer work on their behalf. A lot of them are retired airline pilots, and instead of flying for fun, they fly with a purpose. So our goal today is just simply to share this resource with your community to let you know that if you or a loved one ever would like to use the service, you can learn more about us at lifelinepilots.org. And to share the message. Maybe you would consider putting the message in a family group chat. Maybe you would consider allowing us to have a table at a local event. So please get creative. Think about how we could share this message and improve the quality of lives for those who are fighting vulnerable health situations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
For attending today.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. My pleasure.
Thank you, Lauren.
Okay. Under contracts, the Justice Center auditorium.
So the not to exceed proposal in front of you today is for $47,500, and this is to take a look at areas of the Justice Center that are being utilized but were never approved to be utilized. And what that means is when the building was designed and the drawings were sent to the state for the state fire marshal to stamp, only the areas that were incorporated in the design were allowed to be used. So there are a few areas that are being used that aren't approved to be used, like the exit doors behind the stage. Those are supposed to be exit only. People come in and out of those, so there would have to be a redesign. Exit doors where the courts come in the side, those aren't supposed to be used as entrances, and they are. Where we have our maintenance area and the clerk's records stored over in there, those walls that were built are not on the state fire marshals approved. So what this would do is put together a plan, a scope of services plan to get those analyzed and potentially designed. So architectural, structural, and the MEP would be about 30, not to exceed 35,000. Code compliance services, not to exceed 5,000. And then the consulting services, the oversight of the project by BW is 7,500 for a total of 47,500. So if we want to continue using those areas, they'll have to be deconstructed and reconstructed according to whatever the new design ends up. But this is an attempt to get to that new design. Our other option is to stop using those areas and find another location that's approved to use that was in the original state stamped approved drawings.
I make a motion, we approve the contract with BW.
I'll second that. Specifically, Commissioner Henry, I believe we should pay for it out of edit number 12. That's the capital projects fund.
That's fine.
I'll second that.
Yep.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brand,
Yes.
Commissioner Henry,
Yes.
Commissioner Reagan.
Yes, thank you. Thanks for getting that going. Now we have the addendum to the lease agreement, Muncie.
So this is Muncie OPCO LLC, who we signed an agreement with to operate the Addiction Recovery Center. They want to go in and make some improvements, customize it to suit their needs. They're asking to invest $152,399 of their money, not the taxpayers' money, to make these improvements so they can operate how they see fit. Also, they have made progress on getting their state permits and the Medicare approval. So I don't know, Danielle, if you have any comments.
Only there are a few exterior and a few interior improvements if you'd like me to list those, but I put together an addendum to the lease agreement that we already have with them. If you guys are in favor of these, we will just include this with the lease.
So the original lease agreement we put with them had language in it that allowed them to make improvements with our permission. They're basically asking for permission per the original language in the lease, and the scope is laid out in this addendum to the lease agreement.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Henry,
Yes.
Commissioner Brand,
Yes.
Commissioner Reagan.
Yes. Thank you.
So the next item is the courthouse bell. This bell currently sits on property that's not owned by Delaware County. It's next door at the apartments. The owners of that land, they're asking if we can relocate it. They're not telling us, but they would like to put up an architectural sculpture, a structure or something where that bell sits. And it would be nice to get this thing back on county property. And Commissioner Riggin had identified a spot where the right outside the main entrance here, where that flower bed is, that circular flower bed. And this is a proposal from the Jennings family. We don't have any other proposals or quotes. This complete moving, bonded preparation of the new area and getting it moved over with lighting. They have a flat price of $22,000. The labor's $7,500. The equipment's $5,000. Materials $5,500, and administrative to get the permits and do all that stuff is the balance of the $22,000. So, but again, this is the only proposal we have right now.
I don't think that's too far off, but all's detailed. And I don't think we have to get any quotes under 50,000 from much pleasure.
Well, I'd also say one advantage to using them is, you know, if we bring in an independent contractor and they're taking stuff off their property, there's a little bit of liability there. If they're the ones taking it off their property, then they'll remove it and leave it how they see fit. And if we wanted to do this, we could do this out of edit project number 12.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brand,
Yes.
Commissioner Henry,
Yes.
Commissioner Reagan.
Yes. Thank you. Ordinance, second reading, 2025-038A. Deductions from payroll that are not provided.
So this is only putting back into place the expert annuity principal plan, which had presented some challenges to completely remove it for the auditor's office from an administrative perspective. So this was an unintended consequence of removing those non-county sponsored plans, and I think it's reasonable to leave it in place. So I'd make a motion to approve 2025-038A.
I'll second the adoption.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Henry,
Yes.
Commissioner Brand,
Yes.
Commissioner Reagan.
Yes. 2026-01 to amend Title 5, Chapter 14 of the Delaware County Code regulating activities within public right-of-way.
So since the introduction, I've received some feedback on this, which is good. That's the whole purpose of the introduction period, is to get feedback from the public. And at the end of my comments, I would be in favor of tabling this so we could hear public comment. But specifically, farmers have asked about the language about blocking the road. The spirit of that language was to prevent contractors who come in to do work from blocking the road and not telling us. And then if 911 or dispatch gets a call, we don't know that road's blocked because they're blocking it and not telling us. It was also intended to promote safety in other ways. A lot of confusion about the mailbox language that's in there. This mailbox language is not new. There's an ordinance in place, the one that is currently in place from 1999, Ordinance 016, that has all this same language in there. And it's important that the public's right of way is properly protected for safety reasons. If there's a mailbox existing, you don't have to get a new permit as long as it's going back in the same place. If there's new construction, a driveway cut, or a mailbox that's going to be put into place, should get a permit. And more so the engineering department can come out and analyze the site, make sure there aren't any stormwater challenges, make sure that site distance calculations are right, and we're supposed to protect that clear path area in the right of way. Indiana code, I think I have it written here, 8-20-1-15 says very specifically a county highway right of way may not be laid out less than 20 feet on each side of the center line of the road, which basically, depending on the width of the road, puts us 8 to 12 feet from the edge of the pavement. So the reason we were updating this wasn't to try to raise funds or create some hardship on people. It was to protect the taxpayers actually from the damage that's being done by these contractors. They're doing a couple things. They're not asking for a permit. They're going out, they're doing the work in one day, and they're gone before we even know it. And then you don't know that they damaged the foundation of the roadway until it breaks down later. And then who fixes it? The county highway fixes it with our money, with taxpayer dollars. That's one thing that's happening. Another thing that's happening is they'll go out and apply for a permit, go out and perform the work before engineering even has an opportunity to go out and take a look, analyze it for site-specific requirements, and give a permission with a permit with specific requirements to do this or not do that. And another thing that's happening is they're getting a permit, and they're going out and they're violating the permit. We saw some pictures where a contractor had dug right beside the road. And when I say right beside, I mean right beside the road. They had dug down about 3 feet and left it there overnight. No barriers, no barricades, no signage. And somebody came through there with a trailer. Their trailer tires fall off the edge and damages the trailer. So this was intended to protect the taxpayers, not penalize the taxpayers from liability that we don't even know about until damage happens later. So I would like to hear from the public on this, but I'm sure that the other two commissioners have.
Well, I agree. People were upset about this, and it wasn't meant to. I think we got emails that we were trying to stop the mail, stop people from getting mail. We got all kinds of emails like that, and that was not the intent. The intent was to try to protect our roadways and protect the public. Many of you know, if you travel the county roads much, you probably know where there's brick mailboxes that set too close to the roadway. There's a few of those around the county. We got to prohibit those from being put right next to the roadway like that. I went by one this weekend that's probably 6 to 8 inches off the roadway, to a point if you got over a little bit or God forbid a motorcyclist would crash near it, it'd kill them because it's all brick. I'm not opposed to people putting those kind of structures up, because I know they do it. It makes your property look nice and keeps your mailbox from getting tore up by people coming through with bats or whatever. But we got to get those off the road a little bit to make them safe for the public. And with that, you need to put a little shoulder on the roadway as well. So all that can be done through the engineer's office, taking a look at it and the permitting process. And as far as the agriculture goes, the farmers have been parking on the roadways for a long time to load their big trucks. Sometimes they can't get the big trucks off the road. We understand that. This ordinance does not prohibit that. Okay, that's not the intent for this. Was this originally from 1990? I think.
99.
Yeah.
99?
99-016.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's original, but it's the current one. I'm sure there was something in place before that.
Before. So I agree with you. I think I would like to review the mailbox portion of it and add some language in there. And I agree with you. If, you know, everybody knows, if your mailbox is set with a 4x4, it's going to rot out and you got to replace that 4x4. Well, if you put it in the exact spot, you're not going to need a permit. Some of the steel, posts that you buy in a mailbox kit, those rust out after time. And again, county highway comes by and hits it with some snow and tears it up, and you got to put a new post in. So all that stuff, we understand that stuff. And like Commissioner Brand said, we wasn't trying to prohibit anyone from doing anything. I think I've owned a few houses, and I think I've put up 2 or 3 mailboxes in my lifetime. So it's not like you do this you don't go out and put up mailboxes every day anyway. So, but we are really working for the public to try to make things better. And we also, the reason we would like a permit, we don't want somebody going out and digging a hole through a pipe going under your driveway. We don't want someone going out digging a hole through one of our county drain tiles either. So this also will help make sure that never happens. So I agree. I would like to table this.
Can I make a comment?
Yeah.
I have heard from some farmers also, and I've not read specifically about the larger vehicles, grain trucks, etc. I think that if you could get some of those farmers to comment or come in and talk to you about that, to clear up that language, because they are concerned about not being able to use their vehicles. Because we posted some roads recently where commercial trucks can't go on these roads, but yet that's what they use because they're not necessarily licensed to be a ag vehicle. It's a commercial vehicle. So some clarification in this might be helpful with that.
Yeah. And I spoke to a few people from Farm Bureau, and they're going to recommend some proposed specific language. So I'd like to, if somebody has ideas, I'd like to see some proposed language, not just, hey, I don't like this. Give me some language. I'll second the motion to table.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brand,
Yes.
Commissioner Henry,
Yes.
Commissioner Reagan.
Yes. Thank you. Ordinance 2026-02, amend Delaware County. Ordinance. Honey Brook Farm.
Good morning. My name is Kathy Van Ice, and I'm from Ashton Land Surveyor for here in Muncie, 325 West Washington Street. Today we are in the process of asking for the finalization to vacate the alleys, streets, and part of the original plat of Mount Pleasant. It's in Perry Township. We're on the west side of what they call Main Street, and north of the county road where it goes back to the west, and it's called 740 South. This area in particular has never been developed, and we have several structures that are either in roads or in alleys, and we're in the process of trying to now vacate the streets and alleys, and then we're going to go in the process of trying to get the split zone corrected to make it all one zoning.
What's the date that this was originally platted?
1837, a few years ago.
This received a unanimous recommendation,
It
a
did.
favorable recommendation from the Planning Commission, correct?
That's right. Correct. Thank you.
And the intent is to expand that Honey Rock Farms
Correct.
operation.
They currently own it all, but what we're trying to do is make it so it's now in compliance.
And they are here today. I think, appreciate you guys attending.
I'd make a motion we approve the request.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Henry,
Yes.
Commissioner Brand,
Yes.
Commissioner Reagan.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. Okay. Under old business. DCC USI Executive Summary. Mr. Webster, I believe, is back there. You do. Does he wish to talk about this, or do we need any?
Mark or Brent, any comments? So they came to a previous meeting and gave a pretty good overview of this. Basically, we're gonna, their recommendation, to improve the quality of our insurance and lower costs was to transition from a guaranteed cost liability program to a self-insured retention program with some, $250,000 deductibles. And they did a 5-year look back of our actual claims to analyze the risk of doing this and ran some what-if scenarios showing that even in prior years, had we been on this plan, it would have saved us money. And it's reasonable to expect going forward that we can manage our claims even better than what we've been managing them, and not only see a cost savings from switching to this type of a plan, but self-managing some of the nuisance claims, which we met previously with our legal counsel, and they've hired a resource to help manage these things. So we're not switching from USI, we're maintaining the same broker and agent of record, but there are 2 choices in front of us. We can stick with Travelers and see a pretty good increase in our premium, or we can switch to the recommendation of a combination of Chubb and Apex. And we were on a call last week with Apex and USI and a company called TriStar that would help manage these things in the background. So that combination combined with Brooke Struble managing these nuisance claims, we ought to see somewhere between maybe first year $300,000 savings. And as we get better managing those nuisance claims going forward, we should see an additional $100,000 to $200,000 worth of savings. And those would be year-over-year savings, not a 1-year savings. Did I explain that properly, guys?
Make a motion that we approve that move from Travelers to Chubb/Apex.
Yeah, I just kind of wanted to formally say that the summary was accurate as far as the change from the guaranteed cost to the self-insured retention. Yes, the management of the claims in-house should reduce the timing. The big thing is to get those closed. So when we looked at those claims, not only just, I would say the nuisance claims that tend to come out of the jail, but also the smaller claims, whether it's typical auto liability, trips and falls, things like that, we should be able to handle that. And within that $250,000 retention, it gives us a lot of flexibility to do that and get these things closed. We only consciously think of engaging the insurance company that's excess once we hit about 50% of the estimated retention. So we hit 125,000, then we put the carry-on notice. So it really gives the county control. It's within our hands to do that. And as Commissioner Brand mentioned, that is where we really expect the savings to come from, in addition to the credit we're taking for the higher retention. So we got premium reduction because of deductible credit, claims activity reduced over a 3 to 5 year period. I would expect to see a lot of improvement.
Thank
So
you.
I just wanted to add that.
Sounds like a winner.
I think
Do I
so.
hear a second then?
No, I specifically said switch to Chubb/Apex. Yeah.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brand,
Yes.
Commissioner Henry,
Yes.
Commissioner Reagan.
Yes,
Commissioner Brand.
thank you very much. Is 613 North Broadway ready to be approved or
I believe
discussed?
John
I
was working on
believe,
that.
I believe Brooks Strubel's working on that. 613 North Broadway.
Right.
Albany.
I think he's got the documents ready for her, but I don't think we have her signature back yet.
She'd like
So I'll
to,
follow up with him.
The town board approved it, right?
understand.
We just have to get the documents ready.
do we need to table it then?
It'll just stay under old business.
Okay. Okay, now it's time for the department heads and elected officials.
Tommy Humbert, Delaware County Highway Department. We kind of skipped an area on our material bids. I want to see if we could open those.
You have them now.
I have
Danielle
it.
has them.
Okay. So back to the very first item on the agenda.
Please.
Right, the first one is AgBest LLC. Do you want me to read all of the,
I don't think it's necessary to read. I think in the past, I believe we've accepted all bids. I think, isn't that correct?
I'd like, yeah, we usually take them under advisement. and
Well,
award them.
I want to do that as well, but I don't know that it's necessary to read every single,
That is correct. We normally don't read them all.
just the companies that had
There's no grand.
sent bids in, yeah.
the next one is IMI. Just to make sure there's quoting here, I'll open it. First Brooks Construction is the third one. And then E&B Paving.
Is that it?
Yes.
I'd make a motion to take those under advisement, have them reviewed, and create a table summary analysis that compares all of them to be presented at the next meeting.
Second,
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Henry,
yes.
Commissioner Brand,
Yes.
Commissioner Reagan.
Thank you.
I do have a suggestion, though, that if anybody's out of town, wants to look at those, they could come up and look at those.
Where would they see them at, Brooks Drupal?
No, they just could,
Oh, you mean right here?
right here.
Right here today, yeah, for sure.
We want to be open about this. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Ms. Miranda.
Good morning, Jane Miranda, Community Corrections. I just wanted to update the commissioners that Delaware County received another round of the opioid grant. We got notice last week. These are federal funds that are filtered through the Indiana Office of Court Services, and it's a shared grant between Community Corrections and Adult Probation. So we should be receiving those funds.
Would you like to share how much it was?
It was $60,000. It pays for the peer recovery specialist at Community Corrections. It pays for the kiosk, the self-reporting kiosk for adult probation, and then a scholarship program for probationers for any of their addiction needs.
Thank you.
Just for the record, the accounts are set up, everything's good, you just,
Yes, this is our 7th year of this grant.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Yep. Fund 8199. Thank you. Keep
Thank
up the good work.
Thank you.
Morning, Commissioners. Emily Anderson, the Court Administrator. I have Nikki Boskin here. She's our CASA Director, and we're asking to renew the VOCA grant, which is what employs 2 of her staff, 2 full-time, currently 1 part-time. She's going to tell you the details. The paperwork that is needed or that you all need to see is still being worked on with the auditor's office. They're waiting on some numbers. But I'll let Nikki tell you about the grant.
Good morning.
Morning.
Our VOCA grant
previously it's a 2-year grant cycle, and we've already received it 3 times. So we're going into our 4th cycle. It runs from October 1st of 26 through September 30th of 28. I'm asking for $150,000, which is what covers the salary for my child advocates that go out in the community. That's a 70% funding for those positions, and then we have a 30% match already. Previously we got to 201,000, but they're telling us they're cutting funds by 40%. So I'm asking for a lesser amount and just dropping my part-time position. The grant is due, the application is due March 11th. And then we would get a decision by July 1st.
Thank you. Where's the 30% match come from?
We have a capacity building grant that comes from the state CASA office.
And I'm sure you're still looking for CASA volunteers.
Yes.
You have a class coming up soon?
We have a class starting April 1st, and it will be every Wednesday evening for 5 weeks.
Would you like to give us just a little short preview of what the CASA volunteers do?
Sure. So we train advocates, volunteers from the community, and they work to represent child's best interest in court cases for children that are involved in DCS cases. So DCS provides services to parents and families to reunify, and we have advocates that go out in the community. They visit those children monthly, talk to service providers, talk to DCS, and then go to court and represent what they think is the best interest for the child.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Oh,
Morning, Josh Jarvis, Human Resources. I was giving an update. Marathon will start March 3rd, which is Tuesday, a couple weeks from now. That is our clinic that we're going transitioning to from IU Health to Marathon. You'll be able to set up appointments a week from today. So Monday, February 23rd, you'll be able to log into their portal. I'll send out information via email with all that to be able to set up post March 3rd. So, and they have reassured us that they do have the staffing to be able to suffice our overflow is going to be coming into obviously the Muncie location. They did say if there's too many bookings at the Muncie location, Richmond and Fishers is also another option as well to go to that. And we're still in conversation with the handbook, so I should be able to have that out later on this week to have a rough draft to all the department heads to put in their input to see what they think as well. So other than that, that's it.
Thank you.
thank you. Not seeing anyone else stepping up. We have our payment of claims of $1,438,509.72.
I'll make a motion to pay the claims.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brand,
Nope.
Commissioner Henry,
Yes.
Commissioner Reagan.
Yes. And payment of ARP claims of $12,250.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Henry,
Yes.
Commissioner Brand.
Yep.
Commissioner Reagan.
Yes. Payment of payroll for February 11th, $1,118,189.26.
Motion to pay him.
Second.
Commissioner
Roll
Brand,
Yes.
Commissioner Henry,
Yes.
Commissioner Reagan.
Yes. Thank you very much. Now it's the time for the public. We have a few people here. 3 minutes. First is Mr. Ken Mace. Okay,
Thank you.
and Cheryl Swingley.
Cheryl Swingley, Delaware County. I would like to compliment Sherry Riggin for responding positively to having a face-to-face meeting with Second Harvest Food Bank representatives and members of the Fair Board after Second Harvest's request to use the fairgrounds as a food distribution site was rejected by the Fair Board and the county commissioners. After a couple of months of discussion and a contract being signed, Second Harvest can use the fairgrounds on a trial basis. Thank you, Sherry. The first tailgate or food distribution at the fairgrounds was Thursday, February 12th. Second Harvest labeled the distribution a huge success. 320 cars went through the line, and I'm glad so many people were helped, but it's sad that the need is so great. In an email exchange with Second Harvest, it was noted that Sherry was present before the food distribution. Second Harvest had kind words for the Fair Board president also. He was described as being very helpful in making making sure barricades were located in appropriate places and asking how he might be helpful during the day. I went by the fairgrounds about noon, February 12th, and you had never known that anybody had ever even been there. I hope Second Harvest can continue to use the fairgrounds for tailgates on a long-term basis and also at no charge. We have so many individuals and families in our community that need assistance, and getting food to them should be a priority of the county commissioners. The fairgrounds is a perfect location. It has room for the tailgates. It's a central location and on a bus route. I would note, too, that Second Harvest is a county service. In fact, it's a multi-county service with Delaware County as the hub for food distribution to those in need in East Central Indiana. And I learned this weekend that Delaware County is the hub for East Central Indiana for so many services, and that's why we get out-of-county people in need of services coming here, because we're expected to provide those services by the state. When I heard my county commissioners rejected Second Harvest's use of the fairgrounds after a question was asked during the public comment period some time ago, and then add that Second Harvest could just move to the movie parking lot across from the mall or to a city park, I thought this isn't any way to treat Second Harvest. Again, Second Harvest is a county service. It provides vital services in our community, even beyond food. Call Second Harvest's phone number, and the extension options will tell you what they do. Again, Sherry, thank you for finding a solution.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for your kind words, and the logistics is what we were worried about, but it worked out well coming in off of Centennial. But thanks again, Cheryl. Appreciate it. Lauren.
She's already spoke.
Oh.
That was the Lifeline Pilots. She was under presentation.
How do you pronounce your name? Praise up, thank you. And Mike, Catherine, please.
Good morning. My name is Mike Catron of 1000 East County Road 700 North Muncie. And I'm here to talk about the proposed 2026-01 ordinance. I sent you guys an email. Have a couple issues or problems. One, I do not believe the county has the 20-foot right-of-way that is being claimed. That is for new roads. Existing roads are edge of pavement to edge of pavement, and I will read a few instances to back that up. One of them, about 15 years ago, AT&T installed fiber optic line through our property, through our farm, and I told them they didn't have the right-of-way to install that through the side ditch. And they said they had got permission from the county engineers department to do it. And come to find out, they had no right-of-way. When I called the county engineers department, they told me it was only an issue when someone like me knew the law. So that resulted in AT&T having to buy the easement off of me. Another one, just last year, Vectron was replacing gas line along 600 West in Delaware County. They went through our farm, through the side ditch. I let them know they did not have a right-of-way. That resulted in them having to start going through the road and tearing up the road when they found out they did not have a legal right-of-way. And then also last summer, a fiber optic company was installing fiber through property of our church's farm. And I contacted the highway department, and they told me the contractor had come in, got the permit for like road cuts and such, and that they told them that they would have to get with the individual owners because the county had no right beyond the edge of pavement. And she gave me the phone number of the company doing the work. I called them. She asked me to let her know what I found out. And they are saying that they're not going to pay nothing. They're not going to remove it. So I do understand the part of your ordinance about coordinating, protecting and whatever. But I do have a question of if you do have legal right of way beyond the Article 15 that you spoke about, when you go further to 15.5, it talks about if the county takes anything that the landowner has to be compensated, and it gives a method in which the county has to show the need. They got to get with the owners, negotiate that. So I do not believe the county has that, and I'd asked for that proof of that previously. And also, I believe it is a unconstitutional to the Fifth Amendment under the takings clause. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, my name is up here at the top, and I wish it was down at the bottom, but I was just going to thank the Second Harvest having successful distribution out there. And then also the fairgrounds was busy hosting the quarterly tourism luncheon that day, so it was a hopping place out there. And, that's all I have to mention. Commissioner Brand?
Yeah, reminder for all county employees that use email and the computers, there was our first Know Before training was sent out on January 6th, and all Know Before trainings have a 2-week requirement to complete them. We still have some people that didn't complete that first round. There was another round sent out on February 3rd. That means it's due tomorrow. And I would be in favor, and I think it probably would require all three, or at least 2 commissioners. Anybody that doesn't complete this training, I believe their credentials need disabled. So that's first. Also, in a previous meeting, we talked about the roof leaking at the Justice Center. You know, you go out there in the jail portion and in the evidence room and places that it looks like that thing's leaked for a long time. And we agreed to have an independent third-party person, company come in and look at this. We did have a company named Advanced Building Products LLC come in and do an analysis, understanding that they would not get the work. They were just coming in to and analyze it, kind of solve the riddle of, you know, who done it. They put together a proposal, pretty comprehensive, probably 20 pages or so. This is still a deliberative document, but it outlines some pretty heavy costs to completely redo that roof, which was just done when the Justice Center was completed. So I think this is the document we need to authorize our legal counsel to send a letter to the original roofing contractor asking them to respond to this engineering report.
I agree.
Yep. So I would like for legal counsel to contact the original contractor and get their response to this report. Also, legislature, a few things that could potentially affect us here in the county. Well, everything that they're doing down there could, but a couple things. Senate Bill 270 and House Bill 1315, those have to do with the townships. Consolidation or reorganization or merging of the townships. Don't know what language is going to come out of that, but the one on the House side has not been scheduled for a hearing, and the one on the Senate side is supposed to be heard tomorrow. So that'd be interesting to see how that comes out. Also, Senate Bill 142 would affect how Delaware County's innskeeper and travel and tourism taxes are governed. Right now, I think there are about 4 boards that look over those tax dollars. I don't know how many or if any elected office holders sit on those boards, but you know, there's a lot of money runs through those organizations, being the Delaware Advancement Corporation board, the Horizon Convention Center board, the Civic Center Authority board, the Destination Muncie, the Travel and Tourism board. A lot of people touch those monies, and our county council doesn't have any oversight of those monies being spent. So Senate Bill 142 is one to watch. Also, I think it's Senate Bill 179 has to do with the $75 million additional calling for the community crossing matching grants funds. Hope that makes it through. It's supposed to be heard today by the Roads and Transportation Committee. And should that make it through, we'll submit the very same application that we did previously for community crossing matching grants funds. And I hope that Delaware County proper, not just the towns that got awarded money, but I hope Delaware County can get their money awarded. It's very important to maintain our roads and keep things safe. There's another Senate Bill number 4 that has language that's been put in there for the community mental health care provider. The only qualified mental health care provider in Delaware County is Meridian Services, and we did not pay that money last year, knowing that the law changed July 1st of 2025. Very specifically, the language said, and I'm going to paraphrase a little bit, but tax dollars can't be used to fund community mental health care providers where non-clinical staff make over $400,000. And there are several people on the 990 at Meridian that make that. So we held those monies up, and they've been carried over into 2026's general fund. So it'll be interesting to see what comes out of Senate Bill number 4, because we didn't pay, I think, our second half payment for last year, and they're asking us now to pay for this year. So we're still holding that money. But also Senate Bill 113 would require us to preserve election records locally, extending that from 22 months to 34 months. And I'm all for it, but we just got done talking about our storage at the Justice Center for records and downstairs and everywhere else. It's going to create additional challenges on storing those records unless we can do it electronically. And I don't know what the law says. I think our clerk does a fantastic job, and I'm sure he knows the rules. But if this gets extended, we'll have additional storage challenges if they have to be physical records. And that concludes my update, Madam President.
Commissioner Henry?
I have nothing. Make a motion to recess.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Henry,
Yes.
Commissioner Brand,
Yes.
Commissioner Reagan.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.